And we are live. All right, we are live again. William had said 4 times so far today. 5 was being on Bald and Curious is yes. So put out a couple videos today. The Ruger RPR Predator. That was an amazing little rifle. And then we shot the Bryson's MPA, and that was an awesome rifle as well. Both in 6.5 Creedmoor. It was pretty cool. Masterpiece Arms. Got a couple people hoping the Elster Rifles and Reloading shows up. See how he's doing. He's been having fun all day today, drinking cocktails, grilling on the barbecue. So that should be fun. Alaska One, Andy, William, how you doing? Jerry Parker. Jerry Parker even puts first when he's not first. I'm starting to see that, but usually he is first. So the true first place goes to Carcane. I want to sneeze. All right. Dang it. All right. So Carcane, you are the official winner of today's chat. Well, this chat today. How's that? Dun, 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 dun. Let's see what's going on. John Jeffries, how are you? Did you do something long-range shooting, Rick? It's been a while. Actually, Mr. Matt, I've been doing some pistol shooting, my friend. Let's get invited here. Let's see. All right. Let me do a little bit of internet madness here. Yep, not lots. Been shooting pistols, trying to catch up because it's been so damn long. So it should be fun. We did do some long range yesterday though, but I've been doing pistols for sure. What's up, Eric? How are you? I won the internet. That's awesome. If you won the internet though and nobody else had it, would you really win anything? Oh, we got smash the thumbs up button, Jerry Parker. So hopefully old Todd here, he's getting his stuff together. Oh, you know what? Todd is very particular. He's got to get his thing ready. He's got to have his safety goggles on. He's got to have his screen up and turned on. That guy's, he knows how to do it. He knows how to do a live chat right. That's all that I got to say. Let's see, just got off working myself. I'm expendable. I mean, essential. Good to hear, Eric. Good to hear. This time, not my fault. Didn't get a notification. This just started 45 Auto, so you did get a notification, and YouTube sucks, and it takes a while to get the information sent out to the proper, through the proper channels, as they say. So earlier today, we did a live chat. We talked a little bit about that big pile of brass right there and down there. And I need to do some reloading. Acceleration rules, what's going on? The internet needs to be destroyed. I kind of agree in some portions of it. Man, it takes a lot of time away for sure. It is a time burner, time waster. But it's also, Chris Miner says, fire up the Dylan. I tell you what, it's been working overtime lately. I'm actually waiting for 300,000 more rounds to show up so I can do this. Matt, RTT Guns and Gear, he had commented on that video of me picking up a bunch of brass. He's like, ain't nobody got time for that. Get to reloading, Bad Billy 429 says. Yeah, I do need to get to reloading because I need to start shooting some more pistol. So that when 2 weeks comes up, I think it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks now, I can at least hit the broadside of a barn. Now I'm doing okay. I need to transition from position to position faster, and I need to keep my gun up when going into the next position. I noticed that after the video. There he is. Sean Connery is here. Let me welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Sean Connery's twin Shazam. What's up, Matt?
What's happening, man?
So, I think I figured out, Matt, what the problem is with the whole talking in the chat room. I figured it out.
Oh, tell me, please, because I would love to figure that out.
Okay. I don't know if I can tell you because I'm on the damn computer right now and it won't let me, but it was in settings and I did have my buddy in like basically a timeout slot, whatever. So when he commented, it would not show. Now, how he got there, I have no effing idea how he got there, but I think I'm there. I think I'm in that box.
I can totally see me putting you in timeout for some reason.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it's officially called timeout, but it was called like blocked users or something like that. I think it was blocked users, and there's no way I would have done that to a good buddy of mine, but somehow he ended up in there because he's like, well, you know, it's like same thing. Because he would text me, he's like, he's sending me pictures like I would send you, like, hey man, I'm here, but
yeah.
So I'm all, maybe that's where I'm at. Maybe I'm located in the dungeon of timeout.
Blocked users.
Blocked users.
Well, when I get the chance, I will directly look at it.
Yeah, you'll find me in there. I'm guaranteeing you. Take a picture too, because it's funny as shit. Because I'm like, how the hell did my buddy's name's Elgato on here, and I'm like, how the hell did he get in there? So it's kind of fun.
Okay, so I tried to go back into. So if you remember the G Plus, like G Plus wasn't that long.
Yeah.
But you remember the G Plus days, right? So
which
back then, we all had like 3 or 4 names. Like you had R. Huard, you had Rick, you had Izzer 6 covered. You had like 3 or 4 different ones. I had 3 or 4 different ones because of how screwy YouTube, the integration of YouTube and Google Plus was. And so I tried to go back to my original G Plus because you can still get on Messenger.
Yeah.
You can still get on the old G Plus Messenger. I got on that on my full name, not my RTT Guns and Gear, to see if maybe that was why. Like, were you blocked there or something happened there? Dude, I can't find you on any negative list at all.
I'm on that thing. I'm going to outdo Todd here because he's got his safety glasses on. So if 1 pair is safe, 2 pairs is safer.
Hey, you're having a hell of a time finding these, aren't you? I bet you've gone to at least some reloading department or something and been looking for these, haven't you?
No, you know what? I do not, and I should wear those while I'm doing that kind of stuff, but I don't. I want to tell you, the Know Your Limits target was a complete pain in the ass to hit. It was so.
You guys start out at
there. He couldn't do it. I was like calling Matt. I'm all, Matt, what do you think? Like, Matt, what's going on, Matt? And he's in Arizona. He has no idea because he's not even there. I'm all, well, do you think I should hit it to the left a little bit? And he's like, yeah, shoot left a little bit.
Would you guys start out at 300?
We started, yeah.
Did Ray make it all the way through at 300?
You're just gonna have to wait, buddy. I don't want to give away. I don't want to give away X-ring secrets,
So at least tell me. Did you guys take it out?
We tried it in the morning. It was so windy, and it was a bitch. I couldn't get past the. Let's see, 8, 7, 6. I don't know even know if I could hit 5. And
really?
Then as the sun went down, then it kind of like stopped being breezy. So we'll have some fun. Do you ever sleep? What's up, Silver Fox? Love you, brother.
Here we go, Rick.
So one of the guys, Terry Williams, is asking me, Alistair, do you think you caught COVID at SHOT Show? And I really do believe that. No, I'm not joking, man. I was so ungodly sick that, I had the exact same symptoms. Right in my chest, insane high fever. I wasn't throwing up. I was sick for 2 weeks straight, ungodly sick. took forever to come out of my chest. 2 days of the worst fever known to man, and my girlfriend got it instantly within 5-6 days. She got sick. Everyone else in the family got sick. I can't prove it. I haven't been tested, but if it wasn't COVID, I don't want to try COVID. So.
Matt was sick not too long ago, back a couple weeks ago.
Well, yeah. So back in November, and I think we've all had very similar stories. So, and I've seen it on Facebook and everything else. Back in November, one of the things that caused the delay in buying this house was that I got so sick. Is it started with like a scratchy throat, like just I kind of felt like I had some just crud.
Exactly. It started with a scratchy throat.
Yeah. And in 2 days, I'm laying in bed gulping air because my lungs were so full of fluid, with burning up to death. This went for about 3-4 days. I tried going back to work. My boss sent me home. He was like, dude, you have tears in your eyes. It hurt. You could see the pain in your face. Go home. And yeah, it was about a week. I missed a week and a half of work, almost a total of 2 weeks before I even really felt like I could walk outdoors again.
Yeah, felt normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. It was brutal. It's one of the worst sicknesses I've ever had. So if I didn't have it, like I said, I wouldn't want to try COVID. That's for sure.
It's funny you say that, because I said it's the only time I've been sick that scared me.
And I was coming home on the airplane, and I was editing one of my videos, and everyone, I won't say everyone, but there was an insane amount of people on there coughing and hacking and wheezing. And one lady about 4 rows up from me sounded like she was going to cough up a lung. And everyone's just like, oh my God, we're all going to get sick. And sure as shit, 2 days after I got home from SHOT Show, I was sick as a dog.
That lady was patient zero, I'm telling you.
That's right. Yeah. She was. Or maybe one. One of the two.
I wanted to show you something. I wanted to show you something, Rick.
Let me show you something.
You spent the other day crawling around on the ground, picking up dirty shitball brass.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And good on you, right? I would never do that.
I just want to save the planet, Matt.
Just it's crawling around on the ground like that is not worth a few cents around to me. Okay? But I did do my own cleaning project.
What'd you do? You picked up magazines.
Dude, these things were so nasty. I had Dawn dish soap and hot water 3 separate times, each for soaking for a day. And even on the third one, the water I poured out was damn near opaque. Damn near you couldn't see through it.
Dang.
What are those all
PMags? Mud or dirt? Sand.
It's mostly dirt and sand. I have, some of them are, a couple are PMags. That one's a PMag. I have, these 2 are actual Glock mags. Here's another PMag, and the rest are the Amend 2.
How do you like mags. Those ones?
The Amend 2 mags?
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
Dude, I fucking love the AR mags. They're the only AR mags, polymer AR mags I buy. I haven't had one problem with them. I've been in love with them since the day I bought them. Right? I have 30 or 40 of them. Amend 2 sent me 10 of them way back when, but I now have 30 or 40 of them. I swear by them. But these motherfuckers, dude, I can't get them to run. I got like 6 of them, and I can't get through a mag.
X-Ring always talks about those Lancer mags, and I really got to try those out.
Lancer mags. Really need if I could only have one mag for an AR, that's what it would be.
Yeah, those steel lip Lancer mags. Yeah, I gotta get some. Matter of fact, Primary Arms has some blemished Lancer mags. I think for $12.99 a piece. So I might hook up with some of those myself. I see Eagle-Eyed Shooting's in the house, and he said, sorry, Todd, for missing your chat. No problem, buddy. And that's, I don't know if you guys missed it, but I just got done doing
it too. I want to see that. I want
the
that.
good old bad boy AMD scale here. So
that's cool.
It is the cream of the crop, man. We got the
one kernel on there, one granule.
Pretty much, man. I don't know if I can get this in here or not, but the autotripler.com. And this has the updated dispenser, the clear as glass one, not the red one. So, yeah, I'm super pumped about trying this thing out, man.
I can't wait to see that standard deviation go to like 1.
Oh man, I can't wait. It should make the difference above and beyond these.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge difference, and there's nothing wrong with those ones either.
No, I might still keep them. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I got a gut feeling in about a month though they're going to get sold, but no problem there, Eagle-Eye Shooting. I get it, buddy. So I'm just curious. What are you using Eagle-Eye for powder drops? Are you using the same thing, or what are you using for a powder drop there, Eagle-Eye? I'm just curious.
All peanut butter and jealousy. Soon I'll join the cool kids.
While he's answering you,
what do you got?
These Rick, these D&H, they're rebranded Palmetto State Armory, but like if you look up D&H mag, Google will generally send you to the PSA website. I have like 40 or 50 of these. I have about 80% good luck with them, maybe 90%. As far as the GI mag goes, as far as the aluminum body, metal mag goes, I probably only 10 or 20% of them that I've bought I have had any issues with, and that's pretty good for like 50 of these freaking mags. Especially considering the fact they spend what seems like more time on the desert floor than in the gun.
How much are those going for, my friend?
Last time I bought them, now it's been about a year since I had bought any, just because I don't need any more. They were $9 a piece.
Holy smokes, that's cheap.
Yeah, they were $9 a piece. I was buying them by the 10-pack from Palmetto State Armory.
Yeah.
And then I add a Ranger band to each one of them that way, because you can grab them better. Yep.
Yeah, like HESA is saying 20-round Lancer mags at Primary Arms, and that's a phenomenal deal. That was, even though they're blemished, I think they're for $12.99. I really should get a couple of those.
I got one right here somewhere.
They're kind of a clear smoke with the steel lips.
That's the one to get. I love the smoke one, because you can, before a stage, you can go, okay, that mag's full. Oh yeah, that mag's full. Kind of deal.
Man, Rick, you've been setting the bar out there, man. You've been training hard, haven't you? Between your pistol and all that, man.
I've been training for 4 months, maybe 6 months on bolt gun stuff, and now I'm shooting a 3-gun. So I have not been practicing the right stuff. But this right here, if I shoot the rest of this, which is a shit ton of ammo, that's
that range brass you just picked that was ultra dirty.
See how shiny that was?
And you did that without stainless steel media, right?
No, that had stainless steel, and then I got more down there that I got to deal with.
Holy shitballs!
So I just need more bullets. Bad Billy had asked me if Acme bullet shipment showed up, and it hasn't. So I was a little bummed today. I was like, dang, I need to reload some bullets. But
got your message there, Eagle-Eye. So you're using a Charge Master, man. So at least we're coming from the same page there, buddy. So good old Kenny, man. So what's old Ray up to? Is he on a hot date tonight or what?
I sent him a link. I don't know. Is someone he knows really well is in the chat, so I figured he was probably watching with him. So maybe, I don't know.
So did you guys go past 300 yards of the no limits?
Oh, we went. Yeah, we hit at 740. What was it? 731 or 741? I can't remember. Whatever we said in the video. 731 yards or 41 yards.
Yeah. Not that easy, is it?
No, you know what sucked is so you know it comes zinc plated or whatever. It's that yellowy gold color.
Yeah.
On the zinc or whatever. The that was the exact same color as the berm of dirt behind it.
You guys didn't spray paint them?
No. So we did the video, and then we didn't spray paint them, and we had already drove back. We ended up spray painting them later, and then you could see them.
Yeah.
And then it was a little bit easier, and then later on in the day, the wind had calmed down a lot.
Yeah. I know when I did it, man, the mirage was brutal. I mean, they were just dancing all over because I was literally shooting on a pretty much a beach. It was nothing but sand. It was ungodly. But yeah, it's my friend tried it. He could not get through it. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get through it in one shot.
At 300 yards, it's tough. It was so tough that I could not pull it off that day. But it was a ton of mirage, but it was mostly we could not see the damn thing, and it was windy too. So pretty much
like I said, that 2-inch gong is equivalency of shooting smaller than a dime at 100 yards. So it's not easy. Not easy.
No, I think shooting a dime at 100 yards is way easier than shooting that target at 200 yards.
Yeah, because you're dealing with mirage and more wind, obviously.
Yeah. I think shooting a quarter or a dime at 100 yards isn't that tough compared to that damn thing.
Yeah, but to try and make it all the way through at one time, it's
you're a stud. You are a stud when it comes to that. For sure.
Yeah, I almost made it on the second attempt too, and I did hit it on the second shot on the second attempt. So yeah, it's that.
I see that.
LPR's a freaking laser. So
did you you shoot it with the pistol at all?
Yes, actually, I got an entire series on it. I think there's like 4 or 5 parts of it.
Yeah, when you go to their website, all you see is your videos.
Yeah, so
it's like 6
I did shoot with an AK pistol. I shot it with my it was the PSA AKP in 7.62 by 39. I shot it with my FM9 9mm AR pistol. What else did I shoot it? 47 7.62 by 39. And obviously my friend's 338 Lapua, which just put a freaking beating on it. That's where all that hardware got changed over, and it got upgraded from that. So
yeah, I can see it needing that.
Yeah, with the double washers in the back. So yeah, but yeah, I'm hitting the range tomorrow. Actually, I got to get a video done. I literally haven't done a video in 2 weeks. I got to get my ass in gear. So
I hear you. I haven't done a video in, I don't know, like half an hour.
Yeah, whatever. He hasn't done a live stream in at least 6 hours.
Yeah, at least 4 hours. Actually, I was on a live chat and I had to get over here because I'm like, oh man, I got to do my 10 o'clock deal. Tell us what's new in the world, Matt. What's going on?
With me?
I heard you talk about long range the other day on your chat. Your 20,000 subscriber chat, my man. Hell yeah.
Nice.
You said something about you were going to shoot your rifle or something like that.
Yeah, I might take my 308 out this weekend. It's nothing fancy, but
it have to be. This has to be accurate.
I was thinking about taking my 308 out this weekend. I added a tier to my Patreon, a $3 tier, which wasn't there before. And I am going to finish up a 2-part series this weekend. Nobody's seen the first part because I couldn't show it until the second part was recorded, because it has to do with continually keeping an eye on the illegal trafficking area. And if I would have published it before I went and did the follow-up this weekend, I could have fucked things up. If all the information was out the week prior.
I got you.
So that first part that I actually recorded 2 weeks ago will be published this weekend. So that will be fun. And then the following weekend or middle of the week or something, I'll post the rest of it. William Na asked if I was going to do any up close and personal stuff. Actually, I just did a knife fighting basics for my patrons.
Cool.
So that's there, and that's about it right now.
So tell me about knife fighting basics. I mean, I'm not familiar with that. I mean, what are the basics? I'm just curious.
Just some of the basic move, like just everything, just like any fight, just like any kind of fighting. There are some basic moves that then go into other things. Like in boxing, you jab, jab, jab. You know, jab cross, jab hook, jab uppercut. You know, so there's that in that is commonality is that jab, constantly having the jab. In knife fighting, there's a basically slicing that's figure eight. This way, this way, this way, like an hourglass. And pretty much everything, and then a stab this way and a stab this way. Everything is based off of those 6 things. You know, I mean, if you want to get to down to techniques, a real knife fight goes like this. You know what I mean? But
unless you're John Wick, right?
Yeah. A real knife fight is, you know, that's the way a real knife fight goes. But you know, and I always tell people, don't get into a knife fight.
Get into a gunfight.
You will always get cut in a knife fight, but you're not guaranteed to get shot in a gunfight. That's just true. It's true. You will always get cut in a knife fight.
I'm in a knife fight, someone's still gonna get shot because I'm going, screw this shit.
But that's what the video was about. Is just some of the like how to hold the knife, guarding, the basic slashes, stabs, and a couple different like, you know, block and strike at the same time, and mixing a couple of different things up.
What is your everyday carry knife? I'm just curious.
My everyday carry knife is a copy of a Benchmade. It's and
you're carrying a Microtech there, right? There, Rick?
Yeah, I carry a Microtech. I'll always carry a Microtech.
Yeah, I got to get myself one of those, man.
This one right here, not this one, the personal one, but this one, the LUDT, is the large underwater demolition. It's probably one of the most underrated folders that make, just because all the fancy out the front crap, you know, the Microtech, I mean, this stuff's awesome. But this knife is an everyday, throw it in the dirt, sand, you don't gotta worry about it not opening kind of deal.
Oh yeah, I mean, I enjoy Ray's videos on his Microtechs. I mean, they're indestructible, man. What he's put them through is nuts. I mean, I'm not a huge knife person. I did my first video on this Tops knives, you know. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but it comes with a Kydex sheath. This would be the Fieldcraft 3.5. So I don't know if you guys can make that out or not, but it's pretty nice. It comes with this Kydex sheath, has a nice, you know, audible click to it. And,
now, do you carry that everywhere?
Once in a while. Usually I carry my pistol. I got a SIG P320 compact that has a Romeo 1 red dot on it, but every once in a while we'll carry this. So, you know, it's a fixed blade, obviously, but it's nice and compact. I would say it's a really do all hunting, camping, a bushcraft type knife, you know. But yeah, so far I'm pretty pleased with it. If you ever check out Tops knives, man, they got more knives that you can shake a stick at, man. And I think they sell this one for, I think it's about $120. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it so far. So,
what's up, Andrew?
Hey, gents.
Hey, Andrew, how you doing, buddy?
This is a gun guy on the sidebar or whatever it's called, comment section.
Hey, guys.
That's Matt. And then you got Todd down at the bottom. And then you got this guy up here, Rick. All right, Matt, what do you got?
This is just that Benchmade clone, that copy. It's made by a company called Gonzo. It's like a quarter of the price. I've had it for, probably a year. I've been carrying it.
So what does that go for? I'm just curious.
It's like $25, $30.
Yeah.
I've been carrying it for about a year. For me, an AEDC knife is all about utility. You know, this I cut cardboard with it, open packages, dig out splinters. You know, I like the knife that's on my body armor is the Gerber Strong Arm. That would be the knife that, like, if I was going to stab somebody, that's the one that's going to get used.
Well, let's talk about knives for a minute. So there'll be some people that don't want serrations because they can't sharpen it as easy.
Hate them.
Andrew's got the Spyderco. That Spyderco.
Yep.
I'm almost a must with. I'm always cutting rope cordage or something, and having a serrated is very important to me. But it is a little tougher to sharpen. But Microtech's down the street, and I know a guy that can send it in for warranty work if it needs a sharpening. So, but okay, so you got no serrated, Matt?
No.
Andrew?
When I was with the fire department, absolutely. I serrated worked really, really well, but now, nope,
No?
straight edge, plain edge.
Elster? Todd?
I not that much of a knife expert to tell you, man. Other than this is my first knife and knife review, but I plan on using this when I go camping, and I plan on doing a follow up to this. And
that's like
I've done some whittling with it, but it's I would say it's more of a camping knife, like an all purpose hunting backpack knife.
Something more along the lines of like oh shit, help me out here. What are those bushcraft knives? The really inexpensive ones.
Mora
knives, yeah. Something more along the lines of that, but a little nicer, or what?
Yeah, they don't exactly get this way. I believe these are $120, $130. If you check out their website, they, no joke, have, I would say, well over 300 different types of knives to choose from. That's Tops knives. I don't know if you guys can make this out or not.
Yeah. Tops
but
been around a long time.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm like I said, I'm not. It's not Elster's rifles and knives.
Yeah, I always, for the most part, have a knife on me. Probably even more than a gun, but I use it a lot for like Matt was saying, cutting cardboard boxes, getting into the. Pretty much when you buy like scissors and it has plastic, you basically needed a pair to get to the other stuff. That plasticky shit that's around everything now, like this kind of stuff where you got to cut around it.
Yeah.
But I'd probably use it at least 3, 4, 5 times a day.
But I figure it'd be a good start with a review, at least starting out in the knife world. So far I like it quite a bit. So, but hey, bud, I gotta head out here. It's almost 10 o'clock here in Wisconsin, so I figured I'd jump on.
It's almost 10 o'clock.
I know.
It's Leinenkugel's time, huh?
Put them both on it because it's almost 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, Todd. You have a great night. Appreciate you showing up. It's always fun.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Nice talking to you.
You guys take it easy.
Adios.
See.
Here's a good knife right here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's a training knife.
Oh, it is.
It's a plastic
you
training
might
knife.
want to sharpen that.
But it's everything about it, with the exception of weight, is identical to the K-bar. The grip, the feel, the length, all that. So this is what we use to practice with.
Yeah.
I don't play with knives.
That's good.
Man.
That is good. Some of those, have you seen that one that shocks you?
Mm-hmm.
There's that one large channel. I can't think of what it's called, but I think he's on Tactical Funk or whatever it's called. I don't know why I can't remember what that channel is. But yeah, your ass.
They have marking knives so that when you strike and you make contact, it'll leave especially if you're wearing a gi or a white shirt.
Oh, okay. Like a pencil mark or something?
Yeah, it basically has some sort of the whatever the blade's made of. It has an ability that, when you whack and you strike somebody, it leaves a mark.
Nice.
Those are nice.
You're like, you didn't get me, and you look like you got checkerboards all over your shirt. You're like, what? That's pretty cool.
I see somebody coming at me with a knife. It's It's not going to be good.
I heard it
No
burns.
good.
I heard it burns.
Yeah,
Well, I got into a fight. What year is this? 2020? 2011, actually. Now that I think about it, it's 2011. Just before Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving, in fact, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, I got into a bar fight and I got stabbed 3 times. Once right behind the ear where it meets, and once at the base of the skull, and once in the back of the neck. And
holy shit! He was trying to kill your ass.
Oh, he was trying to kill me. Yep.
What's up, Dexter?
He got arrested, and I went home.
You went home?
Well, see, so the
you didn't go home.
I kind of did. I shattered his orbital, busted his jaw. When everybody split it up, I was just covered in blood, as you can imagine. I thought it was his because I didn't feel a thing.
Wow.
And but then once the realization happens, and you start like your blood pressure goes down a little bit, and you go, "Oh shit, that fucking hurts," you know.
Was it a burn?
It was almost a cramping burn.
I heard it was like a hot or burn or something like that.
And so
this is what you're talking about?
Yeah, I got one of those. Those are nice. Yeah. I like those.
They are. They're good.
So the police and paramedics and the police and ambulance, they all get there. We're sitting in the kitchen of the bar, and I got a wet bar rag on the back of my head and neck, just covered in blood. And they're like, "Well, we need to get you to the emergency room." And I said, "Well, can somebody take me, because I am not paying for the ambulance ride?" And they said, "Well, yeah, you just got to be there, in whatever it was, like an hour, within an hour or something like that. That way it doesn't start closing and infections and things like that." So I said, "Okay." I went right to the bar and ordered a shot. Got done drinking for the night, had my friends take me to the emergency room, passed out on the gurney. I woke up fixed, and that's that.
That is an amazing story, actually.
That's that. And he sat in jail for a very long time.
Good. Damn. That's crazy talk.
That's very unpleasant.
The best part is you didn't even notice till the end, which is good.
Oh, what a week.
I heard you had a week. Didn't you email me something about your week?
I shot a couple of notes to X-Ring. Had just a week, shooting back and forth to Quantico a couple of times this week and all that nonsense. They've got a new thing. I'm a government contractor, and to get on base now, you have to have what's called the DBIDS card. This is all fallout from the Pensacola shooting. And it's a defense biometric identification system, DBIDS. In order to get on base, you've got to go down, you've got to register on an online system. And with this COVID crap, the hours have been just really screwy to go in and get your ID taken care of. And I'm a member of Quantico Shooting Club, and they changed all the rules in the meanwhile. So I have everybody in the shooting club's got to get a DBIDS card. And I had to run down there on Monday for an appointment on Wednesday. It's just been a week, It's just, first world problems. I guess I'm happy to be working and hustling around, but still at the same time, kind of a pain in the ass when you get old.
I hear you.
No big deal. The good news is the ranges are opening again this weekend, so that's good stuff.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people commenting on videos saying, "I'm going shooting tomorrow."
Indoor ranges in Maryland opened up tonight for limited use. And Quantico Marine Corps Base, they got everything straightened around. They're going to have 2 ranges open tomorrow for rec fire. And they're going to have 2 ranges open on Sunday for rec fire. They're going to have the 1,000-yard range open on Sunday.
Nice. Very cool.
ATB.
Sounds like a lot of people are going shooting.
Yeah.
They're all out there. They've bought stuff. They've been basically playing with it at home and not been able to go shoot it. So a lot of people are going out tomorrow and doing some freedom blasting, basically, which is really cool.
Well, the weather has finally decided it wanted to cooperate up here in Maryland too. So it's been there he is.
What else is there to do? Ain't nobody got time for nothing else.
That's right.
All right, you guys talk. I'm gonna go use the head.
Yeah, it's ring.
What's up, gentlemen?
Want a little pussy?
Meow.
What a week.
Yeah, we discussed that earlier.
Yes, we did. Yep. I'm gonna have to
what's up,
take.
man, Bill?
I'm gonna have to take a run down to where all that stuff is being knocked out here next week too. So it's gonna be another madhouse of a week, but that's okay. It's first world problems.
That's right. So what's everybody doing tonight?
You're looking at it, buddy. Let's see, what else is everybody doing?
Still trying to find ammo at a good price.
So did Rick tell you about our adventures yesterday?
No.
So we went shooting. We had we're doing some long range stuff. Had a few guys out there, and of course, you get myself and Rick out there. We're gonna have cameras up everywhere. So I filmed all day. I was gonna have content for like months, right? Good stuff.
Uh-oh. Here comes the punchline.
My mic. Yeah, here's the punchline. My mic auto shut off, and the entire day was completely lost. The only thing I got out of it was that stupid dead shot little rifle rest video. That's it. Horrible day. Great day for shooting, though.
You had a horrible day?
No, I was talking about yesterday when I found out that my mic was not working.
Oh yeah, we had so much footage that went to the wayside. It was ridiculous, and there was a lot of good footage. And man, I was on fire compared to somebody. Casey was the man, though. Dang, all gone, never to be found again.
That's right.
It's all going to hit the cutting room floor, just like the story of my life.
That fish I caught.
That's right.
Cleaning guns and drinking vodka, Bad Billy says.
Ooh.
Just like a responsible gun owner. Keep the ammo somewhere else, my friend.
I'm too tired to have a cocktail.
Yeah, last time you were on here, you had a cocktail, actually.
Yes, sir, I did. Yes, sir, I did.
You deserved it, too, by the way.
I always deserve it. I only drink when I deserve it, which is every day that ends in Y.
Oh, crazy Scotsman. You're going to make me try to do this right now? I'll do it later. I'll just click on this. Anytime you comment, I'll click. That's your blue wrench for the night. I got to get into a whole nother set of things.
What is that?
Okay, so if anybody is interested, Wolf is back in stock for only about 2 cents more around than what it was before coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
And 223 is the same for Wolf, about 21 cents a round, which is 2 or 3 cents round more than what it was, and 9mm 17 cents a round. I mean, it was normally 15 cents a round before, so it's the difference between $155 a case and $177 a case. So it's not that much.
Well, I think what you're going to see is the supply chain catch up with the demand and surpass it. And then what you're going to see is that ammunition price is going to drop really, really low really soon on Wolf and your bulk ammos. So hang tight.
About a month before coronavirus, it was this year, but I don't remember if it was January or February. I bought a case of Wolf at lowesammo.com for 11 cents a round.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So when it turned to 20 cents a round after the coronavirus hit, I was like, that is twice what I paid for it like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
You say the word wolf, and X-Ring skin starts crawling off of his body.
I just can't get. I can't get these bugs off of me.
Can't get them off. Get it off. Yeah.
Primers. Eagle Eye says rather looking for primers and deals. The primers, man, primers are cheap as I've ever seen it. Cheap as it ever was right now. The Matt, someone had commented way back when we were talking about you shooting long range, maybe tomorrow, or whatever you want to call long range. Are you shooting steel case 308?
Yes.
There you go. I forgot I saw that earlier.
Well, actually, I have some surplus stuff in an unmarked box that I couldn't tell you what it is, but it's brass. And then I have a whole bunch of wolf. But I'll probably be shooting that brass stuff, actually. Yeah. So they're like your chat section, right? Your comment section is not my comment section. You reloaders and long range shooters follow you, not me. So I talk about wolf and shit like that. I talk about wolf and shit like that, and your viewers talk about primers and types of powder. I don't.
Okay, then. Hey, here we go. Here's an interesting topic. Since I'm going to be on here tonight. All right. So, and we'll hear all the viewers' comments on this and everything else. This seems to be a very controversial topic, but I think those that are in the business or anything like that might have a differing opinion. So I'll ask you three guys first, and we'll check the comment section. Your thoughts on doing a threat scan before reholstering your pistol. Rick first.
So we actually kind of talked about this a little bit, and I'm not into the
no, just your thoughts. What your thoughts?
Okay, so if I'm in a real gunfight and I'm shooting at somebody and they're down, I don't know if they're gonna squiggle around and keep grabbing that gun. So I'm gonna keep my eye and probably my pistol pointed in that direction, and I'm gonna kind of look around to see if he's got a buddy that I need to put a hole in too. But I'm not really crazy. I am no way any stretch of the form tactical. I am more of a sport shooter per se, or whatever you want to call me. So I'm not good into that. Now, if I was in a real gunfight and I shot somebody, a lot of things would be different, I'm sure. Probably be throwing up on the concrete while I'm looking around because my nervous system's freaking out, and making sure everything's good. But I don't know. There you go.
All right. Guns and gear.
I think if a threat scan is done correctly and not some bullshit where you bang, bang, bring it to your chest and go, hey, I'm going to look both ways like I was taught when I was 5. I think if you're checking 360 and all that other stuff before you reholster, it's fine. But if it's before or after, I don't care.
Gotcha. Andrew.
If it's done properly, yes. And I'm not into teaching other people things on the internet, but if it's done properly, it's a valuable tool. But you have to do it the right way, and there's a way to do it and a way not to do it. And RTT up there, he summed it up in a way, in an effective way. I'm a firm believer in understanding your surroundings, but you got to make sure that you're in the good spot to do it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I can't see the comments for whatever reason. They've kind of frozen up on me.
Nobody's talking. It's crickets.
It's crickets.
There's a way to do it and a way not to do it. And we talked about this before, X-Ring. I don't want to talk about all that, but it does annoy me. And there's There's a particular guy out there in the universe. You probably heard of him. His name is Pat McNamara.
Yep.
You ever see his little spiel on range theatrics?
Yes, I have actually.
Well, bingo.
I did a video on this. I said, if you're going to scan in real life, not some range where you have range rules and, muzzle down range at all times and you got people standing next to you. But in real life, if you're going to scan, after you fired those shots, when you bring that gun part way in, don't fucking put it down here, but part way in, keep that muzzle pointed generally out. You're going to take the gun with you. Because just like any other fight, when you're fighting with a knife, you don't stab the guy and go, hey, is there anybody else around here? You bring the sumbitch with you. And it has a light on it.
And it's got a light on it. The knife does?
No, the gun.
All right, X-Ring, what are your thoughts? We got check side to side is okay, but that is only your peripheral vision, not your whole picture. Got to keep your head on a Swiffer, pick up everything, bang, bang, back up to a tree, a wall, and look. What was the question?
So this came up one night in conversation because there was a couple guys that commented on this in a video, and I agree with what you're talking about, the Pat McNamara, where you've got the range theatrics going on. However, I believe it is a useful tool, like you guys said, if done properly. I believe it should be taught, and there are reasons for it. The biggest reason is, especially when you watch competition shooters, when they get done with the stage, it almost seems like there is a race to get their gun cleared and put it back in the holster. Is it not? Every single one you've ever seen, been to, watched on video, whatever, they're catching their bullet, they're doing it with style, and the RO says, clear, drop the hammer, and then holster. So for law enforcement, one of the biggest things is most of your agencies are going to train a lot up close. You're going to see a lot of 3-yard, 5-yard. It's going to be 2 rounds, 2 seconds, or, some variation of something like that. Okay. Something where you don't have time to actually find your sight, but something that happens really close, like, a guy like Andrew with that knife up like that. What are you going to do? So it's draw and fire 2 rounds, 2 seconds. Now, I know a lot of you guys are saying, dang, that's slow, man. 2 seconds. Well, you got to realize that if you're dealing with someone that's carrying a level 3 holster or something like that, there are a lot of mechanical safeties that have to be defeated beforehand, and that's sucking up valuable time. We're not talking about coming out of a Safari Land competition rig or something else for competition, okay? So in order to have that security of that pistol, you've got to defeat those safeties so that it's not easily taken away from you. So 2 rounds, 2 seconds. And I don't know of pretty much any agency or any entity that doesn't do at least a couple of those in that 3-yard range. Is that correct, guys? Or Andrew, are you familiar with that or seen any variation?
Yeah, we do a lot of contact distance work.
Correct. What that habit does on doing the threat scan, if done properly, is it breaks that mindset that you just fired 2 rounds and you're trying to hurry up and get that gun back in the holster. It gives you a chance to still cover the target, make sure there's nothing else going around, because if you look at a lot of the shootings, I know Charlotte, North Carolina, had 2 officer involved deaths or 2 officer deaths in the same evening. I think one happened in like 1995 and then one about 5-6 years ago or whatever. So typically, or in a lot of situations, there's multiple assailants. So you want to make sure that they're not in a hurry to put that gun back up. Okay. But they have to look, and they have to, so when you're training a recruit school or something like that, you've got to make sure that they're doing it. Typically, if they don't do it properly, depends on what we're doing. We'll ask them, say, all right, everybody did their threat scan. Before we start the next string of fire, what was I holding in my right hand? Well, those that can't do it, they're doing push-ups, or they're running laps or whatever. It's giving them that time to kind of, come down. I mean, I'm not going to get into what happens when you get into shootings and everything else, because everyone reacts differently. Just like what Rick was saying, some guys will throw up, some won't. Some guys freeze up, they don't even shoot. But yeah, I think if it's done properly, it's a valuable tool. That's my thought on it. Should a competition shooter do it? Absolutely not. I don't think there's any place for that in any type of 3-gun match or anything else. And then some guys might say, well, this is what I do for a living, so I'm going to continue to train that way. You should be able to separate it.
Instructor Zero adds something to his scan that I think is really useful, and that's leading with your elbows.
Yeah.
You like back?
Yeah, elbows.
Not so much like not so much a strike, but as he's turning, he'll lead with his elbow, because you don't want to turn your firearm into a bad guy that can grab it. So if you lead with your elbow, and I think that's fantastic advice.
Creates distance, basically.
Yeah, it creates distance. It's the same reason the cops stand like this when they talk to you. They do that because they create distance between you, and they can get their arms out here quickly.
Wait, show that again. Okay, so
it should be like this.
Almost, you don't ever want to cross your arms. That's what almost every agency is going to teach. When you're dealing with individuals, you never want to cross your arms.
Well, it's like this.
You got to be able to flip it.
Yeah, but it's to create distance, and so you can unfold and get to them real quick.
Correct.
Yeah.
There's a very crucial part, without teaching anything, which I'm not going to do, is if you're shooting, you better be moving, and if you're not moving, you better be reloading. In my opinion, okay? So if you've just fired your requisite however many rounds it takes to stop somebody from doing what they're doing, you better be moving. Either closing distance or breaking to cover. So you can look at that time as well, and that's what I was taught, and that's what I kind of teach in a way. So
that gets me to the second part. Even if there wasn't a second part, the second part of X-Ring's question is, what do you think about the threat scan? I go directly to, what do you think about the draw and take a step, and calling that getting off the X?
Always step right.
Yeah, the problem is I'm having a bad internet connection right now. All I'm seeing is spinning wheels of death, and I'm hearing like every other word. So you were having a problem with your internet earlier.
You draw your holster. Are you stepping off the X? I think is what he said.
I said, am I good now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Gotcha.
Okay. The insanity that I see on YouTube all the time of, as you draw or as you reload, of taking one step to the side and calling that getting off the X.
Yeah, if you're going to move, that's not good enough, in my opinion. I know of a lot of different places that trained getting off that X, and they practiced and taught moving off the X to reload, but it was not just a sidestep. If you were moving, you were like I said, we don't want to get into tactics too much, but you were moving to seek the cover, or you were closing that distance, but you're not just taking one little sidestep left or right, a foot and a half. That's not going to do a whole lot.
No, you're moving.
Yeah.
You're moving. You're moving with a purpose.
There are people that are considered to be high-end instructors out there that teach exactly what I just showed.
Okay. It's not an invalid tactic. I mean, it's not invalid. I mean, I can see its purpose, and not every situation's the same. I think what's important to keep in your toolbox is not every situation is going to be static. You're not going to be on a flat range. no two situations are going to unfold in the same way. So it's good to learn a lot of different things. And that's one of those tools you can put in your toolbox. I think
Correct.
what's important when you really get to a certain level, you take those basics and somebody will teach you that. And if they're a smart instructor, they might say to you, hey, listen, I'm only teaching you this to add a dimension of movement on the flat range. It's not for this, it's not for that, but it's something you need to think about. And you got to also remember when you're teaching on a flat range, you've got constraints, safety constraints, space constraints. You might have 10 students in a class. You've got to be a little bit careful. I think incorporating a little bit of movement, even that getting off the X to somebody teaching them on a flat range, the typical engagement, I think it's a good thing to incorporate some movement. Is it a valid tactic in every way? Maybe not necessarily. But I think it's good to teach people that you can move with a gun in your hand. And then it's up to you after the fact to seek more training and to adapt that to different scenarios. That's just my 2 cents worth.
I did not want to come across as saying, don't move.
Yeah.
That's not what I meant.
Right.
Okay. I kind of felt like that for a second.
Nope.
I was not meaning to come across as don't move.
Not an indictment, brother.
No, you talked about it in your video. I remember that video, man.
Yeah, but
I think some of that though is you are on a range, probably in an instructional type of manner. And the range is that way. You can't just get too crazy because you got another however many guys in class. But if the instructor was to say, okay, now we're not at the range, this is what you're really doing. Right now we're only going to do a step, but maybe it's 10 steps or whatever.
Incorporating movement, I think, is good. Don't call it getting off the X if it's not.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's what I was getting at.
Learn to shoot
fair enough.
moving.
Because I can take hold on. I can't even get 21 feet. Is any side-to-side movement going to keep you from shooting me?
No. You're going to be hosed. There's no difference in me going here, there. It's like I could cover your whole room right there.
Yeah. I mean,
we're starting to get into a little bit of a tactical discussion that we should probably avoid. So,
what's the qualification to be considered a high-end instructor? This is is a good question for some because they're out there looking for instruction, but what makes an instructor a good instructor? There's a lot of people that have a lot of knowledge that can't talk or try to portray what they're trying to say. And then there's a lot of people that, haven't really a teacher.
Let me take a crack at this one.
Comment. Holy crap.
I just saw that, Carcane.
What's that? What'd I miss?
I ain't even gonna say
it. Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Now that's funny.
That is funny. Okay, what makes a good instructor? I think a good instructor teaches to the level and the expectation of a student and is able to kind of keep the instructional curriculum within the realistic capabilities of their students and teaches things that are appropriate for the student's situation. That's my 2 cents worth.
Okay, that was well said, Andrew, because one of the things that I've noticed, and this goes back to that whole getting off the X thing, you can't advance a group of people that are not really good at or proficient at getting hits on their target.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden expecting them to move if they still haven't gotten the mechanics and the fundamentals down of doing the reload and everything else. It's like walking and chewing gum. There's a progression. This is why I'm a firm believer in having multiple instructors if you're going to teach a class, okay? And the reason is almost every situation you're going to have different levels of ability within that class.
Amen.
So you have to be able to accommodate that. You can't say, well, I'm, sorry, but if you can't keep up, I'm just going to leave you behind. Or you can't say, well, hey, we got this guy and, he's just not quite getting us. Give us another 15, 20 minutes, to work with him. You can't do that to a class. It's not fair to any of the students. Any of the things that I've been involved in or anything that I do, I will have a minimum of a 1-to-4 ratio. Okay. That's where I like to keep it as far as student to instructor ratio, because you got to figure the guy that, let's say he just got his gun yesterday, and then the guy that's been doing it for 15 years and has been to 5 classes this year. You got to be able to accommodate everyone. They still have to get the same curriculum, and they don't need to be singled out, but they will appreciate not being left behind, or vice versa.
I think also, if you're teaching a class, and we teach classes on our range up in upstate New York, and we try to keep about a 3-to-1 ratio, 3 students to 1 instructor.
Yep.
And we have 4 ranges. So if we find people that are falling behind of other students, and you're only as strong as your weakest link in a class, right?
Correct.
And everybody's paying money to be there. They expect to have good quality instruction. And there's sometimes when you have somebody in a class who's just not ready for that curriculum, the sign of a good instructor is to pull that person aside and say, hey, listen, bless you for trying. This class might not be for you. I am going to refund your money, and we're going to have another class we'd like to roll you into another time. That's an option. What we do also is we pull people out of the class, we split them up, we rack and stack, and we'll move them to different ranges. That's why we have a 3-to-1 ratio also. So if we need have somebody needs some remedial help, and then we school them up on that, and we adjust the curriculum for the advanced students to drill fundamentals and to increase their speed and do these things. And then we move these other people off to the range to get them to that fundamental level. And then maybe after lunchtime, we can start flowing them back in. We try to accommodate everybody, but there are certain times as an instructor, a sign of a good instructor is, I'm not just here to take your money. I'm here to give you a realistic picture of where you are, where your skill set is, where you need help, and let's talk about this another time, and you can come back and take another class.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
And getting back with their students and vetting them somewhat just to find out where they're at.
Here's the thing, though. This question is really a good question, because I'll use YouTube as a platform, right, for learning. Not the learning part of platform, but like you got Lovell, right? You got Jaeger. You got what's the other guy's name? They all have different parameters of styles of teaching, and some people learn better from, say, this guy, and this guy. But what makes them qualified to be an instructor? Like, there's, besides the stupid NRA crap, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, say somebody wants to learn carbine tactics. Like, just because one guy, did 5 tours in some country somewhere, he probably knows his shit, right? He doesn't need to really have a certification of some sort, more than likely. And then you got people on the law enforcement side, and then you got the normal everyday shooter like myself, and then you got, all those parameters within the middle. And I guess you just got to find the guy that works for you. But if you don't know, and that's kind of what Tim's saying, like, say he wanted to go take a class right now, what would he ask to get a good, or if you want to call it a qualified instructor? Because you don't have to be qualified to teach awesome shit and to, even the best stuff. It's not I don't think it's a certification.
Well, here, let's look at it this way. If this instructor that you're going to go take a class from, or somebody, you can tell a lot about somebody's character by the way they react to questions. If you're going to sign up for a very expensive class, it would behoove you to learn as much as you can about the instructor. If they've got videos out there, watch them. Or if they're close to you at home, say, hey, can I audit one of your classes? Just come watch for a little while to see if this is for me. Because I've got news for you. These guys, like Lovell's actually really good. He's a very well-rounded guy. He's very reasonable. And he's trying to do good things. And you've got, there's some Navy SEALs out there that are teaching. Let's face it, if you're a homeowner with an AR-15, you want to learn how to protect yourself, learning from a Navy SEAL, I can't think of more qualified guys, but you're not going to be a door kicker. Okay. Maybe something more like Clint Smith and getting those fundamentals drilled into you, because they've got different levels of classes, and they're more humanizing about the way they teach, and they're a little more realistic. I think that might be for you. Audit the classes, learn about the instructors, check the curriculum, see if that's really for you. And if you have a bad experience in class and you say, well, this instructor wasn't for me, well, maybe you didn't do your homework either, or you had an unrealistic view of your own abilities and your own expected outcome. My 2 cents. I don't know.
What do you guys think, Matt? That wasn't the question.
Muted.
Oh, you're muted,
Yeah,
Matt.
Okay.
Eric. Eric
Sorry,
well.
my computer was doing something weird. I said, hold on, my computer's doing something weird.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
I don't even know where to begin with all that.
Because I know you instruct.
I don't disagree with anything you said. I mean, I think that I think the instructor, while being honest with the student, I think it was brought up that an instructor should pull a student aside and say, "Look, this isn't for you. You're not to this level yet, right?" I think that the student needs to be as honest with himself as the instructor does, because if you haven't even had a concealed weapons class and you're signing up for like a pistol 2 with carbine basics or something like that, or you're signing up for a fucking full-on rifle and pistol tactics class, I'm like, this may be a little bit out of your league, and you're an idiot for signing up for it. So part of me wants to say that, because I've had some dumb fucking people in class where it's like, you have no business being here. But I guess it depends on how the class is taught. So I can't remember who said it just a little bit ago. If it was Andrew, it must have been you. I think you said something about repping and drilling and repping, and then taking somebody else to a different range. That brings the question of how many reps do you do? Because in my opinion, the class is not there to make you proficient. The class is there to give you the information that you need to take with you, and then you make yourself proficient.
I agree. 100% agree with that. That is a great comment right there.
I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're not supposed to leave class and be a tactical ninja. You're supposed to leave class with things to practice to become better.
Right. So like, it depends on the drill and depends on the round count, because I think I'm just like anybody else. I try to keep the round count down to a minimum without being stupid about it. But anywhere around the 10 reps per drill is about what I do. And and sometimes it depends on how many mag changes are in that drill, how many rounds are fired in that drill, and how hard the drill is on your body. Because if the drill is really hard on your body, if it's an up and down, dive behind something in like pistol 2, there's still a half a class to go, and you're already bleeding. You know what I mean? Let's not spend all that time diving on the ground. Hey, you do enough tripping in your life. You'll figure that out.
Yeah, you'll know how to get up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, SoCal? I was going to hit on this because I know SoCal went to a carbine class about 2 years ago, and he told me that the round count was like 1,000 rounds a day. Okay. He said he was just sick of pulling the trigger. Now, he's in the chat right now. What's up, SoCal? Somebody was talking about that peanut butter whiskey or something earlier, and I thought about you. Oof. But when I talked to him and he told me about the price of it, now he had some great shooters. I don't know about the level of the instructor, because just because someone's a great shooter, or because somebody did this or did that, does not mean they are a good instructor. Okay. I think we all know that. You're going to remember your best teachers that you learn the most from and their way of teaching you. But the sentiment that I got from SoCal when he went to that class was, yeah, after about day one, he was over it. And I think he was having a problem with his ankle as well. I mean, how much are you going to retain at that point when you're just so sick of pulling the trigger?
Oh, like my pistol one class, which is basically the step after concealment, right? If you take your basic concealed carry, like NRA concealed carry class, and then my pistol one class, pistol one, you get into reloads, you get into shooting from concealment, you get into all the different malfunction clearing, that sort of stuff, all the basic stuff that I would consider to be necessary information for self-defense anywhere you're at, be it the gas station, grocery store, or your house. And I think it's 250 rounds, and then my pistol 2 class is 460 rounds.
Less. Yeah.
I took a class some years ago. I took a carbine class some years ago, and it was a 4-day class. And at the end of the 4 days, we'd fired about 1,800 rounds. And I thought that was a lot. And it was a lot of moving and running and positional shooting. And it was a lot of humping around, and it was on tough terrain. And it just got to be too much after about day 3. I gutted it out and I finished. I mean, look, it's not a big deal to go take a class. First world problems. But it got to be a lot, and it got to be too much. And I remember saying, well, shit, I'm not doing that again. So, there's a fine line too. I'm not as gung-ho as I used to be, and I'm certainly not as, I'm not a door kicker. I'm not a SEAL. I'm not this, that, and the other thing. Did I learn stuff? Absolutely. Was it great practice? Sure. Did I retain all of it because I was so tired and beat up? No, I didn't. It wasn't fun after a while. And it was expensive.
Yeah, just the ammo.
Yes. SoCal clarified it and said it wasn't a tactical carbine class. It was a competition class, which I'm kind of wondering why he took it, because I know John very well, and he's not a competitive shooter, but yet he took the class, and maybe it was close to him or local to the area or whatever. But yeah, round count, I was just like, that's insane.
Here's kind of go ahead. We'll say
sorry
about
that.
I got another question.
The class I took, Ray, it was a class, and it was a professional development course for the company I worked with. They wanted me to go take the class. No problem. So I paid for the ammo and stuff, but it was too hard on me. I'll never do anything like that one again. But anyhow, moving on.
All right. So
Rick.
Oh, go ahead.
You asked earlier about choosing an instructor and certifications and all that.
Yes, Tim.
I want to voice my opinion on that.
Perfect.
And that is, I am tired of people that show me a string of certifications.
Yeah.
Because you look at half or more of those classes, and they're not a pass-fail class. They're an attended and finished class. They're not a pass-fail. There's no grade. You took that class, and you're no better than the fucking person that failed, that didn't show up to that class. Most of those classes are not pass-fail. My classes are not pass-fail. You can write down every class I do, right? And you didn't learn a fucking thing because you don't learn well. Right? Or don't retain, information, whatever. I'm tired of seeing people with a string of certifications, and this is why I'm better than you.
Yeah. Well,
I had a guy arguing with me on Facebook one day. he's one of these guys that keeps like the PDF of his classes on hand, because you could tell he just copied and pasted, boom, right into the comment section, and everything was from 1990 and before.
Lots changed since then too.
You think?
Oh yes.
See, like me on the other end, I don't. Besides like a concealed weapons class that you have to take, I've never officially taken a class of any sort. It's always been trial by fire, learning from friends, doing it, practicing till you're bleeding, basically. So I've never officially really gone to a class, but I can handle a weapon decent, safely and all that kind of stuff. But that's what makes it tough, right? So it's like, well, let me move on to this question, because this is where kind of it makes sense to me. So like if I was to take a class, like someone had asked about Taryn Butler. Well, if you don't know who Taryn Butler is, he's a very well-recognized sports shooter of different many calibers of shooting. The man shoots very well. He's kind of like Jerry Mitchell, but a little more.
Hey now.
What?
Easy. Nobody's Jerry.
Yeah, that's true. Nobody's better than Jerry. But if you want to learn that type of shooting, sports shooting of some sort, then that's the guy you would want to listen to. You wouldn't want, maybe you wouldn't want to go take a class from a Navy SEAL. You would take a class from someone that shoots what you're trying to accomplish. If I'm trying to accomplish to be better at 3-gun, going and hanging out and learning tactics from Navy SEALs is going to be awesome, but it's not going to be what I'm trying to accomplish per se if I'm trying to do that. So,
well, that goes
an instructor.
That goes back to what I said. Make sure that the material that you're trying to learn is applicable to your situation.
That's exactly what you said, Andrew. You are on fire.
Not everyone's gonna, take buds and AT, advanced training.
Oh, shit.
It's just not going to work out.
See, and this is a true story. Every day, I'm learning something new of some sort.
Yeah.
And I've gotten better. I have. I'm not saying I'm great.
There was a question.
I'm saying I have gotten better from here to here. I could still go way over here, but right now I'm better than I was.
Well, listen, there's a huge difference between an adult learner and a younger learner. Your testosterone level has dropped enough that your ears are unclogged full of crap, and now you're listening to somebody who actually knows. So that's good. That's good stuff. When we get older, our ability and desire to learn things and absorb is much greater, in my opinion.
I was doing a long range patrol class with Land Nav, and I was talking about just where your rifle is at on patrol, right? And I had this like 25-year-old kid say, it's all personal preference. It's really not. It's like, that's one of those things there's like the color of your gun is personal preference. But how you move with it in a patrol formation, it really isn't.
No.
You broke up a little bit, Matt.
Well, let's see.
I'm not surprised. I'm doing everything I can to get this piece of shit. This computer is like 6 months old, and I'm already ready to throw it through a fucking wall.
That's about all they last nowadays.
Microsoft Surface, guys. That's a great piece of equipment. I highly recommend it.
A Surface? I'm still on a 9-year-old Apple. Might even be older than that now.
As long as it works.
Yeah. I can't update it anymore because it's just like, nope, you don't have enough shit.
So Ray, my good friend stopped by the office today. He's a retired brigadier general. Good dude. He's the one of the officers of the Quantico Shooting Club. He's actually my old boss.
Yeah.
And great guy to work for. And he came to the office today. He's one of our consultants now. And he came back to the office today. And he's so excited that the club is opening. And I just, it's not that I'm the greatest shooter in the world, but, you get to go down to Quantico and you get to see some of the greatest shooters in the world.
Yeah.
Laying there. A lot of those young men, you go down there and you watch these guys are out of the scout sniper school. They're there on the weekends. They're practicing. They're doing their thing. That to me is, I just go down there, sit in a lawn chair and watch these guys shoot. These young kids, man, can they shoot? They're amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Well, Daniel, he kind of brings up. So I was on a chat, Bald and Curious's chat earlier. They had the timer out and they're drawing from the holster and doing mag changes and all this stuff. And Daniel, Josh is he's a very good shooter. You got Bald and Curious. These guys have been shooting a long time. You got Daniel. I don't know how long he's been shooting, but I know that he's a lot less of a shooter than those two. And they were doing the times, and I'm like, I actually jumped on there. And I'm like, well, slow down, tell everybody what's going on, and let people learn as we're going, because you got one guy that's trying to keep up with you guys, but he's doing things, not proper, and it's going to just make him a worse. Oh shit! It's going to make him, unfortunately, he's not able to keep up. So it was like he had put in there that he had learned a few things, and so cool job, Daniel. Keep practicing, my friend. And you get sloppy too, Daniel, after a while of not shooting. Even Ray said it on that one video. I was leaning back and doing stuff that you shouldn't do, and it's all about practice.
Shooting is a perishable skill, and you got to keep up with it.
True.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is you don't know what you don't know. I know you got, a lot of people say that, but there's a lot of truth to that statement.
For sure.
There are things that you're not going to know unless somebody points it out. I'm not trying to write off, people not taking a class. You guys know I even offer a class, but it's just to help people through things. But you're going to see things that shooting with friends, they're not going to point out, or they're not going to know. You don't know what you don't know. And, it's always good to have training. It's always good trying to advance that. Even if you only take one thing away from the class, that's one thing you didn't have when you went into it. You have to look at the overall picture. How much did you have to spend, everything else for it? But no, training is a good thing. And I know a lot of people, whether it's, motorcycles, firearms, whatever, I'm good. I don't need to take a class. You don't know what you don't know.
Hey, listen.
I had somebody on Facebook ask me not too long ago, or there was a generalized question on a Glock Facebook page that I'm on. And it said, at what point is, what round count for a range trip is overkill? And I said, my comment was, it depends on why you're there. If you're there for fun and you're just blowing off steam or whatever, and that's all shooting is to you, then is there such a thing? I don't think so. But if you're there and you're trying to be serious and you think you're training something, if you don't have some sort of professional training behind you, arguably one round is too many, because at that point you're building bad habits.
Well, I have a thought on that, and it's kind of like what you said. It's a little bit different for me, and I feel that I've reached a point in my life where I understand myself and I understand my limits, and enough is enough for me, and I know when to put everything away when I sense myself getting sloppy. I just absolutely stop what I'm doing, put everything down, and take a breather, decide whether or not this is worth continuing. And if it is, if I can correct myself, okay. If I can't, I just stop. Whether it's 12 rounds, 20 rounds, 200 rounds. It doesn't make any difference. It depends on your mindset, what kind of day you had, where your head's at, how into it you are, any number of different things. So true enlightenment comes, I think, and true wisdom comes when you understand yourself. So it's different for everybody, right? There's no real good answer. I think you just need to know when enough is enough. Just my thought.
Good point.
Well, let's use me as an example. I know probably two of you haven't seen the video. Maybe you have. The pistol thing, and I'll put myself out there because I had shot 400 rounds, no, 300 rounds, 300 rounds, 300 rounds during that training up at the barn. Ray was there. He was doing some other stuff, but he was probably watching in the background a little bit. I felt like I was doing stuff, but having the video, and we talked about this afterwards a little bit, Ray, about transitioning from position to position. I had my gun too far down, where now I have to bring it back up, which is basically valuable time moving into positions, right? But getting some time behind the gun, it felt good to get comfortable with it and watch that muzzle, see what it's doing. So for me, 300 rounds, I think is what it was. Worked out pretty damn. Matt Cross, thank you, sir.
Wow.
It worked out perfect because I got to do some moving and shooting drills. I got to do some transitioning kind of stuff back and forth. I got to do some stuff where I was shooting backwards as I was backing out of a stage, basically, and then I could transition over to another thing. So I don't know if you had a chance to see those videos. Probably not, but I'd love to hear Ray's comment, or maybe you guys did. I'd love to hear yours as well. But getting behind a pistol because it's been so long, getting familiar with everything, it really felt good to shoot quite a bit of ammo that day.
Yeah,
And
one thing
I'm going to say this.
let me say this real quick, just so no one has any misunderstandings or anything. So Rick and I are good friends. We do a lot of stuff. We do a lot of shooting and everything else. I am not in Ray teaching mode when I hang out with Rick at all. I will, like when he goes and he was shooting his 300-400 rounds, however many it was, I was actually in the hangar editing videos. What he's doing is his own business and he's shooting. And I really didn't see much of it at all. Okay. And what he was doing, he was just making a lot of noise. Okay. I knew that because I could hear the steel.
Loud kid.
But he showed me the video afterwards because I was doing my editing. He showed me the video and I looked at it and I was like, oh yeah, by the way, you might want to work on keeping that pistol up a little closer when you're getting into position rather than bringing it back up. You know, that's the kind of information I give him. I mean, it's not like he's hanging out with me and I'm just like, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's very rare that I ever do that. Very rare. He's not a student, he's a friend. And, you know, I wouldn't want to be around somebody that's constantly correcting me on every single thing I did either. I mean, that's going to be miserable for everybody. We just have a commonality in that we both enjoy shooting. And I actually mentioned this the other day. I've had a lot of friends throughout the years, just like we all have, but no one's really enjoyed shooting as much as I have that I hung out with. You know, they're like, oh man, I want to do this, huh? And I'm pretty versatile. I mean, Rick will tell you. I mean, you know, you want to go play tennis? Let's go play tennis. You want to go ride mountain bikes? Let's do whatever. I'm good for it. But, you know, I always gravitate towards shooting. I enjoy the heck out of it. And yeah, it just kind of worked out. He wasn't working and he likes to shoot, so we shoot. That's it. That's all I had to say.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is I've heard Ray, because I ask him a lot of times. I go, what do you think? You know, this was back, you know, quite a while now, but I'd be like, what do you think about this or that? And I try to remember the stuff that he does say, because I can use that years from now, or I'll catch myself doing something wrong. And then I'll be like, oh, damn, I need to do that or whatever. So because I want to be a better shooter. So if it's something that you care about, you're going to try to be better. It's like police officers that don't go out and shoot. They only shoot when they have to qualify, is because they don't enjoy shooting. They just do it because they have to.
Yeah, and I've mentioned this before, Rick, but just to go ahead and get this out of the way, not trying to argue with you on the internet or anything like that, but I've said before to you, when I first met you, you weren't serious about shooting. You were about going out, having a good time, and just shooting some targets, and you really didn't care.
Yeah.
Now, I guess maybe because you got closer to retirement, you're like, hey, I want to get good at this. You made that conscientious decision. I want to get better at shooting. You actually stated that to me.
Yeah.
For someone that I see that I go out to the range and hang out with, or they go to a competition and they're just there to literally, and I know it's a family show, grab ass and just goof off. Hey, that's their business if they want to do that. But I'm not going to waste my time trying to give them feedback to make them better if they're not there to actually become a better shooter. They're just there to hang out because it was the thing to do. Well, now that he's kind of made that decision, I saw he really had a desire to get better at long range. And if anything, more than anything, I've tried to help him along with that because I know he is going to be shooting a match not only with me, but also against me the week prior to that match. And I don't care. I mean, I'll share the information I have because it'll make his learning progress, his progression just so much faster. I mean, hell, he outshot me yesterday. I mean, I couldn't buy a shot yesterday. I mean, I don't know. Yesterday was just one of those days, and he was ringing steals. And yeah, of course, I got to take the ribbing and everything else. But no, it's times. It's always a good day.
Part of the game.
That's right.
And listen, we talk about taking classes and we talk about formal this and that and the other thing. And my philosophy is a wise man is the perpetual student when he finds somebody who is worthy of listening to.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's always something to be learned.
Yep.
From everybody. And the minute you think that somebody doesn't have anything to offer you is when you need to check yourself.
Yeah, for sure. You got to be humble enough to say, there's got to be something I can learn.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There's always something you can learn. Jeez. Yeah. It's a big world out there, man. Life would be boring if we weren't learning.
Florida Bearded Fisherman. No, it is not an IPA. It's whiskey. No, it's sweet tea.
I hate I lost the audio on that video after we got done shooting the other day. That was just freaking awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and tell on them, but we were done shooting. The guns were up and everything else. And Case was like, hey, anybody want a beer? The guy had a freaking bar in the back of his truck. Okay. That's I'm talking awesome. About how many different types of beverages did he have, Rick?
5.
No, it's more than that. I got the video, just no audio.
I don't know.
But anyway, he was like, you got to try this. And I'm trying to think of the name of it. It was, and in full disclosure, I don't drink much. I might have 6 beers a year. And I honestly mean that. I don't drink much. The time and everything else has to be right if I just want to whatever. But the time was right. So I was like, yeah, I'll have one. And so I had a beer with him. Yep. Rick took a beer as well.
I actually drank a beer too.
And then he pulls out this girly drink. It was something Jack. It was a margarita in a can.
Oh, Jesus.
That thing was freaking delicious. And I was like, man, this reminded me of like college when Zima was invented, I was like, but I hated Zima. But this was just, he was like, yeah, it's got a lot more margarita. And he goes, hell yeah, I'll drink a girly drink. And I was like, this wasn't too bad.
Zima. I can't believe you just said that.
Yeah, Zima.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They brought that back a couple of years ago.
I think that was my first time.
I remember that.
Zima.
And I bought some and I was like, why did I think this was good 20 years ago? What is wrong with me?
I would never do it again.
What was that? It was a wine cooler or something that came in a box. Do you guys remember that? It was like the first one ever, and you couldn't find them.
In a box?
Anyone. Yeah, it came in a box. It had a little spout, a little tap on it. And
I can't drink wine.
Everybody was crazy over this stuff.
I can't do wine.
Oh my God, that sounds like a headache waiting for a place to happen.
Tim said we're having a KB. Shit, he was drunk at freaking 3:30 or whatever time that live chat was.
Dude, he was upset. I talked to him today, and his channel got demonetized again. And we talked about reasons why it might not have gotten demonetized. And Yeah, he was not a happy camper.
Be right back, guys.
Bad Billy. Jolly Rancher at the bottom of the Zima is where it was 20 years ago. That's funny.
Yeah, and it wasn't Franzia or anything like that. It was before then. It was like an Australian name or something. Was the name of this stupid box? I can't remember. It was a long time ago. That would have been 30 years ago.
I couldn't do wine coolers. My stepsister used to drink that shit. And it was nasty. It gave me the biggest headache and hangover. Oh, it was ridiculous. I just wanted to crush my head the next morning. That's why I drink whiskey now.
We'll see you, Daniel.
Now we're going, Daniel. What's up, Matt? You falling asleep over there?
No, that's it. Okay, he got it. Todd got it. He got it. I got to wait till these guys get back. Todd, you are the freaking man. Matilda Bay. That was it. Matilda Bay wine cooler. Oh, man.
I just can't believe I'm on here with a couple of dudes that drank wine coolers.
No. We're talking 30 years ago. Hey, Rick, he got it. It was Matilda Bay wine cooler. This was like 30-something years ago. Todd knew the answer.
Elster's the one that had it.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't like that stuff. I'll take Crown Royal or some type of something cinnamony. But
that's right, Todd. We earned these gray hairs, every last one of them.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah, when is going to go gray?
Andrew, it was Matilda Bay. Oh, he couldn't hear.
There you go. Now again. Matilda.
What's that?
We got the answer. Todd knew it. It was Matilda Bay.
Matilda Bay.
Mad Dog 2020.
That's a new one on me.
Okay, so the very first alcoholic beverage I ever drank in my entire life was Mad Dog 2020. Can you believe that? And Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull on the same night.
No wonder why you don't drink.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that.
Mine was a Mickey's Big Mouth or one of those 6-ounce.
Mickey's Chugger.
Yeah.
Mickey's Chuggers. Oh yeah.
Those things. That's not a good beer to start off on.
Nope. We'll try that.
Hey, the last time I saw Sam drink, we were in Moyock, and he was drinking those Mickeys. Yeah, Andrew knows what I'm talking about.
Heartburn City, John Jeffrey says.
Mickey's Chuggers in Moyock. No way. Nope.
And Nut Hugger shorts. Full kit all day long. It's like 110 degrees. And it was like, what is that little green bottle?
Ray, it's 110 degrees there in Misery in the middle of fucking January.
Oh, I know.
It's horrible.
Like flies, man.
In the middle of the dismal swamp.
That's it. Man, those were some fun times.
I don't know what Matt drinks. He's not telling us. Eric says he drinks. Yeah, he doesn't drink. Steel Reserve because it's steel cased. That's pretty good.
I haven't drank anything in 3 years.
Nicely done, Matt.
Awesome.
I haven't drank anything in 30
If I can't do it.
Hold on.
I figure if I can't do it when I'm carrying a gun, I probably shouldn't do it.
Yeah, good point.
I got the dog to watch Sentry for me tonight. I'm good.
Yeah, that's true.
I got a freaking bear hanging around my house. So that's why I'm sitting out on the porch right now. It's freaking, I don't know what it's doing, but it's been terrorizing our house. That's what that was last night, Rick.
Was it?
Oh, it tore up everything.
Oh, man. Sounds like you need these things right here.
Oh, your perimeter alarms?
Yeah.
No, I don't need anything. It's all good, but it's not as bad as the other house. The other place I had, I mean, there was like anytime during the day or night, you'd have 5 or 6 bears hanging out.
The range, 26 and a half years. Congratulations.
Nice. Congrats, the range.
That's awesome. Jared Parker.
Good for you, Range.
All right. Well, we can either end this in 1 minute or 15 minutes.
15. I just got a cocktail, for
Do
God's
I
sake.
hear- Oh, you did get a cocktail. And I got some pure.
What happens if we go 16?
What happened to what?
What happens if we go 16?
Let's find out. I don't want to break your record, Matt, of like 14 hours of pure chat magic. How many hours was that? 9.5?
11 hours and 5 minutes.
Rick, if I didn't know any better, I'd think you were upending a big bottle of Jack Daniels every time you took a sip of that.
Everybody thinks that. It's
Yeah,
funny.
it's funny.
Well, I'll be driving around and people will look like, what the fuck? What is that? You know what's funny? I've never been pulled over by the cops drinking this shit. But everybody thinks it's some type of whiskey, bourbon, something.
Yeah, I actually enjoy a cocktail. I've never had a problem with it, so it doesn't bother. So it's fine. Let's see. So you guys live out in the hills in North Carolina, so you do have bears out there.
Oh yeah, I don't have them very often at all. Maybe twice a year the bears will just come in and they will just F up my trash.
Well, I lived in Minnesota for quite a long time, and I lived out west of Minneapolis. There's a big lake out there called Lake Minnetonka. It's the big recreation lake for the Twin Cities. It's the closest big lake where people have boats, and I lived on an island in the middle of the lake, and every winter we had a big bull moose that used to migrate right through the neighborhood. And we used to see a moose in the neighborhood like pretty much all winter. He'd hang around all winter, cruise across the frozen lake, and he'd be all over the place, and the news choppers used to follow him around and moose sighting. It was pretty cool. Never had any bears though, so seeing a moose stand in the middle of the road is quite a sight to see, though. It's like, oh shit, that's a big animal. Big animal.
Good question, Billy. I don't know. I haven't been
pulled
over by the cop. I haven't been pulled over by a police officer.
Bad Billy, you don't answer that question for him.
What? I have a little thing on the side of my door, but I don't know. I haven't been pulled over. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there you
go. Show him or not.
That's the answer right there. That's what I was looking for. He actually has a badge mounted to his steering.
It's not a badge.
So he doesn't have to pretend. It's right there in plain view.
That's a helmet shield,
What is it?
not a badge, goofball. You know, one of those little.
Well, it looks like a badge.
It's for your New Yorker.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. But it's a small one. It's a micro one. It's only about this big.
I'm still here listening. I was pushing the tank on the porch because it was getting a little chilly.
It's still 80. It's still 80 degrees outside up here. Can you believe it?
That's crazy. You guys got it hotter than we got it right now.
Well, shit. It was snowing here last week. For God's sake, it was freezing in Maryland. Now it's like 80. It was 87 degrees here today. It was like, oh.
Yeah, North Wisconsin. If you want to see some bears.
Been there, done that.
I don't know about hanging out with a bunch of bears.
They don't bother you. You don't bother them for the most part, unless you've got food or trash.
Or they're hungry. And it's a grizzly bear.
Never had a problem with a bear. Had a problem with a moose. I had a close encounter with a moose in Nisswa, Minnesota. Minnesota. I was out deer hunting, and I had a 6.5 by 5.5 Swedish Mauser. Bumped into a moose, drew my .44 Magnum because I thought it had a little more snort. And we had a little mini standoff. And let's just say the next year I went up there, the 6.5 got hung up for a 30-06. I didn't feel terribly confident that a 6.5 with little tiny 130 grain bullets was going to help me out. So we went to a 30-06.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Self-preservation, man.
Oh, wolves. Oh, I haven't had to mess with them.
I don't want to. Beautiful creatures. Beautiful creatures. Unbelievable. Don't want to ever mess with them.
Matt's got coyotes, jackrabbits the size of kangaroos, and rattlesnakes. And what else you got out there?
Where the hell is
If
out
it
there?
has
And what?
Tucson, Arizona.
Oh,
Tucson. Every animal and plant is designed to harm or maim or kill you.
Sounds like Australia, where everything can kill you.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
everything
name
poisonous.
that everything's poisonous, everything's prickly, and everything has a stinger. Like
Scorpion.
it's scorpions. It's even our pigs. You know the javelina here, little fucking javelina will come through and tear your goddamn leg off. So I mean, we have everything from bobcats, coyote. We even have jaguars starting to come back in from Mexico. Yeah,
No
yeah, because
comment.
so back when silver mining started becoming real big here, they killed off and ran off all the jaguar, and now they're starting to migrate back up here, which is terrifying because the mountain lion will pretty much mind their own business. You're a lot bigger than they are, and they understand that. Jaguar, you are an appetizer.
Yeah.
Hey, I got something to tell you, man. There's a couple of things in the world that you don't do. Number one,
TV. Thanks, TV.
you don't ever piss on an electric fence. Number two is you don't ever wrestle with a cat.
No. One cat. Well, Matt has cats. He knows. But like,
I have two cats. We had a dog got into our house when we lived in Minnesota, and the cat attacked the dog. It was my neighbor's lab, the friendliest thing in the world. I decided I was going to break up the fight. I threw my Maine Coon cat across the room. She's 26 pounds. Big cat. She comes around, and I got in the way, and I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but I got myself a nice little reminder.
Holy
27 stitches, cut me right to the bone. She almost bit my arm off. A house cat. Could you imagine what a big cat could do to you?
No, yeah.
It's
No.
terrifying. It's terrifying.
No way. Nope.
It's
Oh, by the way,
and they're
Idaho.
and it's not like javelina, the pigs, you can smell them from a mile away. Coyote, they won't shut their yet. You can hear them coming from a mile away.
Here's to you, TV.
But like, then you get into the rattlesnakes and scorpions and all that. Yeah, the rattlesnake is going to rattle if it's awake when you startle it. If it's not awake when you startle it, you're fucked. I mean, and name the plant, it has a spike on it this big. And if you get anywhere near it, now it takes surgery to remove it. Like, there is nothing pleasant other than the mountains and the ability to go anywhere and shoot about here when it doesn't snow. But then I saw somebody out there in the chat room talk about northern Arizona, like up towards Flagstaff. You get up there, and now you're into bear country, moose country, wolf country. Like, this whole state is designed to murder you.
DW, those are L. No,
You were saying something, Ray?
I was just going to let Idaho Rogers know that his package went out today. He'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he was the big winner. He
Cool.
was the big winner. All right. I had a midnight encounter with a small cholo one time. Ole, vato Holmes. That kind of cholo?
A small cholo or a small choya, because the choya cactus
Oh, jack your ass up.
is horrible. I remember we were doing we were chasing down. We were tracking a bunch of illegals, and I had scooted my ass down this embankment. It's nighttime. I did not know this embankment was covered in cholla cactus balls, and it was just across my chest, all the way down the front of me, everywhere. And it's just like the pain. I couldn't scream. It was like, I don't know how to say it. And anybody's trying to take a cholla cactus needle out of you, they're like barbed.
No thanks.
That's a cactus that once it goes in, it like does a little hook or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got a little barb on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very, very highly unpleasant.
I painted paintball at night with a couple buddies one time in the middle of the desert and found one of those things. The rule was you had to move every like 30 seconds so you could at least figure out where these guys were to shoot at them. And yeah, I found a cactus.
So the screaming gave you away?
Yeah. And then you got cactus in you and two guys lighting your ass up. You're like, wait a minute, we're done here. Man, damn.
The paintballs are driving the cactus needles in deeper.
Then you get a ball of cholla stuck to the back of your boot, and it's not until you take a knee that you find out.
To your ass?
Yeah, because then it connects to your ass. Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks, bro. You can keep all that. Nope, not for me. So, Ray, what's coming up for you? What do you got going on?
I guess going to be going down with Team Trainwreck and going down to Florida in about 3 weeks.
Okay.
In the just a lot of work stuff.
Yeah, I got some traveling to do. I got to get up to
it.
Detroit. Yeah. So where in Florida is the where in Florida you guys headed now?
Frostproof, I think.
Where?
Frostproof.
Yeah.
Frostproof, Florida.
Frostproof.
Yeah.
Okay.
That means it's going to be really cold down there.
Probably. Or 140. Take your pick. Where is Frostproof? What's the nearest landmark that I might know of without having to ask Dr. Google?
It's in the middle somewhere. I'm not exactly sure.
Near Orlando or Ocala? Never mind.
Look it up. Google will help you.
Frostproof city in Florida. Okay. Here we go.
Middle of the state, Florida bearded fisherman says.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is about, I'd say, 65 miles south of Orlando. Seems about right.
I know it's going to be like a 9 drive for us.
Yeah.
How long a drive?
9 hours.
Shit, no. I think you guys are looking at, I think you're looking at 6 hours just in Florida. If you're coming from North Carolina, it's a long-ass drive.
According to Google, it said 9 and I think it was 9 and 9.
Yeah. No, I was says Florida bearded fisherman. He says not cold. Any place that has a name called Frostproof, that's going to tell me it's hot. It's just like going to thermal California. It has that name for a reason.
Well, just think of it this way. You won't have any problems with humidity being low, being between 2 lakes in Frostproof, Florida. Your shit's going to rust.
Yeah, that's it.
You'll have fun. You guys are going to have a great
Todd,
time.
Todd, on your question, Rick says he was making me look on the KYL. No, he can once, but I went further than he did. But we're going to do the review on that later because
wind sucked. I told him how bad the weather was in your
It wasn't so much the weather.
Video.
It was, but it was the mirage. You could not see anything.
Yeah.
Mm.
But Rick, who went further on the rack 1-for-1?
You did. I still beat you though.
Okay, there you go.
A win's a win. Take it.
No, he shot well. He shot really well. The mirage was horrible, but the wind sucked because it would go and then stop, gust, stop, gust, and then later in the day it got really nice. Actually, it was easy to shoot later in the day, but in the early part,
because there was nothing.
Early part of the day, which is good because it makes it harder. So that's good.
So like I was telling you, Ray, earlier, so if we want to switch back to talking about guns, my cousin and we both have 320s. And him and I we own that range up in New York. And I told you that the 320 and I just can't figure out how to get along with each other. So I went and ordered one of those Wilson Combat grip frames to see if it makes any difference.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know on that as soon as it comes in. It'll probably be a couple of weeks before it shows up, but I'm kind of hoping that helps because I really want to like that gun. I don't know why. I just want to like it.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, it's a good pistol. I've shot them a lot. As a matter of fact, before I guess before it was even released, I was at an event and SIG was there and they put it in everyone's hands and they were doing plate rack times. And it shot well for me, but it's just, and then I bought one of those X5s, but it's just, I don't know, it's not a me pistol.
Not a big fan. Only bought it because the military's going for it and it'll have parts and support for the next umpteen years. That's the only reason I bought it. And I really want to like it.
Years.
Yeah,
exactly.
Something like that. I just want to like it. Probably will never like it, but we'll see how it goes.
I have not. There's only one SIG I even like. I really don't like them. I don't. Nothing against them. They shoot great, supposedly, and all this stuff, but nope.
The only SIG pistol that I've ever really particularly cared for was the 225 single stack 9mm. Call me crazy. Nice gun.
I've never been much of a SIG fan.
No, that's not fair, Florida bearded fisherman. I carry a SIG 365.
And I do too, but I don't like the other full size frames. They're like, it's like this high. It feels like between the bore and the sights.
Keep having people telling me that when I complain about the bore height on the 320, they keep telling me that it's in my head. It's like, no, it's not in my head.
It slides that fucking tall, and then you got the sights on top.
Yeah.
Richard Harper, how you doing? What else there to do besides sleep? Yeah, Tim likes the SIGs.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for sleep. I need some bullets.
All right, so really quickly before you end the chat here, one of the reviews, and it would have been an awesome review, is we had one of the rifles out there, and Todd will appreciate this, was a Ruger American Predator. We're talking about a little pencil barrel, $450 rifle, 6.5 Creedmoor. But the guy's rifle that owned the rifle, he wasn't there, but he loaned it to somebody else to zero for him. It had a Burris Eliminator 3. And if for those that don't know what it is, it's basically a laser range finding scope that gives you the ability to find out what your drop is from your 100-yard zero to, I think it was like 750. So at 750 yards, you record what your drop is in inches. You put it in the scope, and then you put the ballistic coefficient in there. And then when you throw the rifle up on target, it doesn't matter where you're at, you push the button on the side, it displays the range at the top. And I've played with one of these before, but not actually out in the field shooting it. Went to 700. I think we were at 732 yards. I calibrated the drop in the BC. This thing was dead on the freaking money, and it gives you the hold. It lights it up exactly where you should hold. And I think he paid $1,250 for it. I don't know the durability of it or anything else, but it would have been an awesome review. And I had no freaking audio.
I know. I put that at the end of that video just to show the distance for that rifle on there.
Yeah.
Matt, check your email. The range had sent you AIM Wolf Performance is on sale for 25 cents a round. So.
Yeah, that I just saw it earlier at lowesammo.com for 17.
Nice. There you go. There you go.
They have 17 cases in stock, or they did then.
17K?
Cases.
Oh, cases. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, was it Matt that said gear snobs? I'm not a gear snob at all.
No, he winks.
I didn't say it.
No.
I didn't say anything about being a gear snob.
No, Matt Cross.
Yeah, he was joking.
That bunch of gear snobs.
He's winking.
Not even close.
Yeah, I do want to review that with the Tacticam because I'm not going to lie to you. I was actually impressed with that little setup. Okay, those things have been around forever, and I think there might even be a Eliminator 4. But it was a very, very fine dot that you could see. You could adjust the brightness on, and as soon as you hit the button, I mean, it just boom straight down. Very clear reticle. The glass was good in it, and it was a hunting rifle, and it shot tight groups too. Sub MOA at 100.
They did.
Good to go.
Yeah, you're
so funny.
You're such a gear snob. You're doting on a $425 rifle.
No, I'm not doting on it. What I'm saying is you take a pencil barrel hunting rifle.
Yeah.
You've got to watch the rate of fire on something like that. Typically, a hunter's going to look for something that's lighter. He can shoot at something. You're not out there shooting at a deer 10 times, or if you are, something's going wrong. And so typically they heat up so quickly, you'll start getting flyers. You'll start throwing errant shots because the heat that's generating so quickly, hence the thicker barrels. But this thing did well. I mean, hold on, let me see.
Yeah, Elster was talking about that one with you that one day.
Yeah, it was dead nuts on. I was really surprised. Really was.
The reticle was nice inside too. I didn't have it on. I was just using the regular reticle, but to print that group. But Matt Cross was teasing me.
I know. I'm just giving him a hard time. So since you're continuing past the 2-hour mark here, another good topic. This is good. This is going to ruffle some feathers. This is going to ruffle a lot of feathers. Idaho Rogers might get upset. I don't know. I know he's got USMC in his name there. Okay, so I did the review of that Caldwell. What was the name of that thing? The dead shot, something.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a Caldwell I don't know.
Field something. It was a field
dead stand or something.
Okay, not anything that I would use, but I could see the application of it. Okay, somebody in a blind or something like that. Let's say they got a little bit of grass and they needed to get that rifle off the ground where they couldn't shoot off their belly. Well, there was a commenter that said, I don't see what the big deal is. He said, I regularly hit targets at 200, 400, and 500 yards in the military. I don't know, with iron sights. I don't know why it's such a big deal. Well, my rebuttal to that is, and of course, everybody, all right, I can't make comments right now. Give me just a second. But of course, everybody, I'm not going to say everybody, but most of the people, the first thing you're going to hear, I qualified expert. How many people have heard that from somebody in the military?
I commented on there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and my response, with no offense to anyone, because I've shot that course, is he was trying to make a point of shooting irons and why that was even a big deal, shooting at 700 yards using a rest like that. And he was talking about guys shooting offhand at 500 yards and everything else. Well, my point is when you're doing that, you're not shooting at a 36 or a 40-inch target when you're trying to ethically take an animal. You have a much smaller kill zone. It needs to be an ethical shot. That's the difference. Not that you nicked it on the edge at the bottom left corner on the shoulder, and it's 40 inches tall and 20 inches wide. Okay. And you know, that was my argument to it. You know, almost all of us, I would assume, have shot, you know, our iron sights 200, 300, 400, 500, 600 yards. Hell, at 700, you know. I've done it at 1,000. It's not about me. It's about these guys that come on there talking about, well, I can do that with iron sights. Yeah, but you're not hunting an animal. You know, I'm not talking about a person. I'm just talking about a huge steel where you're just trying to hit it. So what's your thoughts on that?
Everybody's a YouTube expert, man.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that don't show you on video.
Hey, brother, you see these glasses? I need all the help I can get. Dead shot, optics, I'll take all of it. All the help.
Hand grenades.
Artillery.
Yeah, like I said, it was. It's not something that I would ever use, but I could definitely see the practicality of it for someone that is a hunter using
Hog
something
hunting.
like that.
You
Yeah, I
imagine-
mean, think about
Could
it.
you imagine having something like that in like a ground blind if you're hog hunting?
Yeah,
Be great.
Hell yeah.
yeah. I mean, and Rick there. I mean, it was a 12-inch plate at 732 yards. I sat my butt down. Boom, boom, hit it. You know, and the guy was claiming it's that easy. I said, well, if it's that easy, you should take up, you know, long range shooting, because you can make a lot of money and get a lot of endorsements. You know, if it's that easy.
Yeah, I saw that comment on there. I'm like, blah, blah, blah.
You never want to take a questionable shot. And if you need that kind of thing, and if it's of use to you, use it. It's great.
Correct.
Yeah. If you have it available and you can take a cleaner kill.
Yeah. You know, not
Well,
all
that's why
of us are.
I reviewed it. I actually thought it was pretty cool for what it was, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, there's
Absolutely.
a lot of guys that pack everything in and have to pack everything out, you know, as far as their meat and all this other stuff. But then there's tons of people I know that load their quads up. They drive it right to the bottom of the tree stand because the guy's 65 years old. He's going to hunt out of the tree. He's going to have just as much fun. And, you know, people do things differently. And I try to keep that in consideration.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
What's the dead shot?
It's a little tiny tripod rifle rest, and the rifle rest, it's made by Caldwell. I don't know where it's made. I don't know if it's probably China is what I said in the video. And you can adjust the length, you can adjust it swivels, it tilts, and it doesn't have a big footprint, and it's really light. The thing weighs 5 pounds. Well, I wouldn't consider that crazy light, but you know, I guess for the guys that are newer following my channel, because I've gotten a lot of new subscribers here lately, you know, I normally shoot a really right stuff. Well, that's a $1,500 tripod. That's not even realistic for most people to spend on a tripod unless you're like a professional photographer or something like that. So when I saw that, I was like, man, that's pretty cool. Now, a lot of guys talked about that bog tripod. And I've heard a lot about that. I saw it at the Sportsman's Warehouse the other day, and it's all carbon fiber, very similar to a really right stuff, but it's not. So I was like, man, this is a great opportunity to review something that you can pick up at Bass Pro or Cabela's, and you can make shots that you normally wouldn't have, you know.
Normal hunters would use, you know.
Hey, how about thinking about, you know, putting that out there? You got a guy with some kind of a disability who sees that and says, you know, geez, that could solve my problems.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, not
Yeah, there were a lot
everybody's
of positive comments.
perfectly abled.
Yeah.
Nope. That's a fact.
That's right. You know, look, not everybody's 22 years old and with eagle eyes and a steady hand.
My eyes have been definitely.
Oh, I don't even want to hear about it.
It's horrible. I know, but it's a huge noticeable difference now, man. It's
all right. So
game
so you see these glasses I have on right here? These little things.
Yep.
Okay, this is not a review, but these are by a company called Thin Optics.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't seen these are one of the greatest inventions ever. Okay, so it fits in a little sleeve, and you adhere it to the back of your phone. Okay. How many times have you been somewhere? It's like, dang, I wish I had my readers. Now, Andrew, you probably wear them every day, probably
I wear contact lenses.
Correct. So my far vision's great, but if it comes to like looking at this teeny tiny phone where Andrew is like in, it's actually less than 16th inch font. It's hard for me to see that unless I put some little readers on. These things are like $14 at Best Buy. They're flexible, so they're not going to break on you, and they fit in a little tiny pocket on the back of your phone that's like 2.5 inches wide.
And you can really get them in. Cool.
And I've used them every single day because my readers are usually in my truck or somewhere else.
Yeah, but your phone.
You're always going to have your phone.
Hey, Matt Cross came. That was an excellent comment. You know, I'm in the military business where we build equipment and we build stuff for the military. Ounces equal pounds.
Yes.
Shave weight wherever you can. I'm a long-range backpacker. My normal loadout is 16 pounds. It used to be 26 pounds. Boy, that 10 pounds makes a big difference. Big difference.
Yeah. Yeah. People, you know, when I did that Bushnell with Bryson, after the very first day, I was like, I don't see us needing this tripod. And if we need it, we can come up with something else. I ditched it. And you're like, man, that tripod's only 2 pounds. Yeah, you add all that up, and all of a sudden your pack drops down from 42 pounds to 40 pounds. Well, that doesn't sound like much, but then you start dropping a little bit here and there, and all of a sudden you're getting that pack down to 36 pounds. It's just like I think Matt just commented. You'll find out what you really need or don't need.
Hey, you know, look, I learned a lot over the years, and shaving weight and what the body can take and how far you can go. You can learn a lot from like long range, like through hikers and backpackers.
Yeah.
All that
absolutely.
I have a rant up, all that mil spec backpack stuff and you know, Dana Designs and you know, the, oh God, what is the brand of backpack that everybody really likes in the military? Mystery Ranch.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Mystery Ranch, but they don't have a good. I have a lot of Mystery Ranch packs, but they don't have a good weapons carrying pack. I wish they would, and you know, they have a weapons carrying system. But I was talking to the guys and this came up on the chat the other night, and the guys said, "Look, this is not for that application." You know, the guys straight up said Eberly stock might be a better option.
Well, yes. Now, my point, Ray, is a company like Mystery Ranch or Eberly Stock. They build great stuff. It's great stuff, purpose built. But all of that mil specky kind of stuff with the webbing and the molly and the pals, it's expensive. Number one. Number two, it's so overbuilt. It's incredibly heavy. Like if you were to contract and talk to I really want to do this, and someone's going to steal my idea. I want to talk to the people from Osprey Backpacks.
Yep, they make some of the best packs. I did a lot of technical rock climbing. Almost all of my rock climbing packs are Ospreys. One of the most comfortable packs you can ever wear.
I have 3 of them for backpacking. They're fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, they really are.
They're just right. What?
Oh, says, okay, my friends, time to hit the hay. Got the woman death stare.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Not good. All right. Well, what's that?
Ever used any of those Osprey scopes?
Different company, but no, I haven't.
Oh, it's a different company?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know
Osprey,
shit about backpacking.
Well, Osprey, let's put it out there for everybody. Osprey is a brand of backpacks. They're nylon goods. They are sewn and manufactured in Vietnam. They are. Full stop. And if anybody doesn't know, the Vietnamese are probably the best seamstresses, sewers, and manufacturers of nylon goods in the world. And they have access to materials over there that are not Berry Act compliant. Ray knows what that is. Made in America, this, that, and the other thing. But the materials that they use are far superior and more highly advanced than what we can get in the United States and be Berry Act compliant and sell to the military. They're fantastic stuff. Unfortunately, they're just not made in America. It's an American company. They farm their work out to Vietnam because if you were to build that in America, it would probably cost 3 times as much. I hate to admit it, but it's true. It's just simple economics. They build great stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're not going to catch me doing the whole, buy everything in America. It's fucking retarded.
I buy American whenever I possibly can, you know. But nylon
all these
goods,
people that are like,
things are.
Yes, Osprey scopes are Chinese garbage. That's why I was wondering if they were the same company.
Yeah, no, not the company.
No. You know, when you find something that's good, I firmly believe in putting it out there for people. Osprey is a lot like Vortex. They stand behind their product for life. If you have a problem with it, send it back. If they can't fix it, they send you a brand new one. And if the model's discontinued, they send you the newest one. They're fantastic.
No, I presented a knife to Casey, and he pulled out a Gerber. I think it's a Chinese-made Gerber, and I was like, "Well, Chinese kids got to eat too." I said, "Hey, I did a pocket check on him, and he was carrying the knife. I can get away with it. I'm part Asian, all right." Chill.
Hey, Ray, when I was watching that video, when I saw you do that, I had a mouthful of coffee when you did that, and I had to clean my computer screen. That was pretty funny.
Oh, jeez.
That was pretty funny.
Whoops.
Yeah, well, I can't thank Casey enough because the beauty of that 700-yard range, which is getting ready to be 1,000 yards, it's right around the corner from where Rick and I live.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no more hour and 20-minute drives.
Yeah, not going down
Ray,
to Clinton else, and it'll just be hours.
It is 52 miles from my doorstep to range 1 at Quantico.
Yeah.
So I got to drive 52 miles to go shoot long.
That is long. That's a lot.
Yeah, I have a place 2 minutes away that I showed Rick finally after all these years, and we can pull off a 2,000+ yard shot out there, but I've only got permission from like half of the landowners. So I don't know. I'm going to work on it, but
there's only like 2 or 3. Asshole, what are you talking about?
What's that now?
There's only like 2 or 3 landowners.
Correct. I've got permission from one. One owns a little tiny strip that I've got to cross to get over to it. Well, I got to get permission. I don't want to be that guy.
You are doing the right thing.
That's right. I don't want to end up in the paper somewhere or something. And, the thing is, and I mentioned this one night in the chat, 2 guys were poaching and one shot the other one, killed them on that property. So it already had, and that was in 2014. And that actually butts up to the bottom side of my mountain. I could accidentally venture out there, but I know where the property is, and I don't want to be that guy.
Ramsey can shoot 740 out his back porch deck.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That is awesome.
Well, Ray'd like this. I don't know if I probably never told you. I grew up on my family. We own a large parcel in upstate New York. Grew up on a farm. We had a feed lot, and we grew.
Yeah.
We grew corn and alfalfa and rye. And my grandfather owned the top of the hill, and many, many years, he kept farming this one piece of land, and my great grandfather owned it, and he kept turning over rocks in the field. Well, what it was it was a limestone field, and He sold that piece of
Okay.
property to somebody, many, many, many years ago. And it's a gravel pit. It's a huge open gravel pit. So I could shoot in the gravel pit when I was a kid. And the problem we had on the farm was we had 1,800 acres. And
that's a problem?
Well, it was a problem during deer season.
Oh.
Because we had a lot of poachers.
Oh, I got you.
So very, very sensitive to people treading on other people's land. I can't tell you how many shotguns that my family owns because of poachers.
So just shoot the poacher.
No, you don't shoot the poachers. You sneak up onto them, and generally speaking, they drop their guns and run.
Yeah.
I've actually got some poachers on my property. I will. I've been kind of turning a blind eye to it, but every year they survey the property, and they found some hunting paraphernalia out there last year, and it's on the. Rick's never even been out there. It's on the back side. It's a big waterfall, and it's you've got to it. And so if they're that far back on the property, I know they're out there, but I really want them out there. Things posted the way it should be. I don't have time to mess with it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm on my way down.
I lost the video.
I'm on my way down with my
back.
I'm on my way down with my backpack and hammock on your doorstep, begging you for a chance to go hammock in next to your waterfall.
Yeah, it's a nice little place. It really is. But you got to freaking hike that. You got to hike forever to it. I think Rick and I started to make it about a quarter ways down one day, and it was just like, this was pretty recently. What was that, about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago?
Yeah, not too long ago. We were looking.
Yeah, we were trying to find a place for longer range, but it's just
the terrain.
Yeah. The problem is, I mean, it's a steep, rugged mountain. I mean, the backside of the mountain, you'd have to come up it. There's no way you're going to hike up it. Can't do it. And so I know that kind of limits where access to the house is. But if you get any further down than that, man, it's just a freaking haul.
Linville Gorge, man.
Yep.
All right, we are going to end this in 3 minutes, no longer, no less. This is 2.5 hours of pure madness.
All right, back to gun talk. So, Ray, my work partner there that you helped out with the base for his 50.
Yes, I remember.
Right, Christopher. Good dude. Good dude. He is going down to Georgia, and he is coming back. He's going to go do some shooting. He's got an LMT. He's got the 308, the British rendition of the. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly.
Yes, sir. He bought the 6.5 Creedmoor upper to go with it.
Okay.
He's coming back up with it, and what can he expect out of that? He's not shot it yet. It just came in. It took him about 6 months to get it.
Yeah. Okay, so, well, I don't want this to sound the wrong way. Got 2 of those. They were in 308. It has the quick change barrel with a monolithic upper or whatever.
Yes,
Bought
sir.
6.5 barrels for them, 24 inches long. We took them out, and we had no problems hitting all the way out to 1,000. No problem. Now, is it going to shoot 3/4 minute groups? No, I didn't experience that. The average group was right at a minute. Shooting 140s or 147 ELD matches. There might be something it likes better, but it was able to hit pretty much every MOA target or larger with with certainty. So I'm happy with the platform. Actually reviewed it. One of them.
Roger. He's not shot
I
it.
am not getting much service here right now.
He just purchased.
Yep.
He just purchased 2,000 rounds of ELD
You
match.
got 20 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to end this show.
Yeah. Now I will tell you, I did have.
Oh, go ahead.
Real quick, I did have one issue. If you put a suppressor on it, it is overgassed like nobody's business, like to the point it feels like it's going to damage the gun. So they make a buffer called I think it's called heavy buffers or something, and they're super heavy. That'll fix all your problems. Or if you can find some other way to get the timing right on it, like you can do a JP silent capture spring, machine a Delrin piece in it, and go with the extra heavy, and you're good. Just be careful putting a suppressor on it.
Roger. Hey, keep us on after the fact. Cut off the live stream.
Hey, I know how to do this.
Alrighty.
All right, I am the chat master. You sit over there, ride shotgun. I'm in charge.
Roger that.
All right, so everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
Apologies, Chief.
2 hours and 30 minutes of pure fun and madness. Appreciate it, Matt, for showing up. Andrew, X-Ray, better known as What Else Is There to Do? And you guys are awesome out there. We are going to end this because you guys, well, this guy needs to go to bed soon. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. There is no after chat. Don't even think about it.
All right, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
All right, and we